The message.
Yeah. Under the lights, speaking of facts, double the price, yeah. Under the lights, we covering sports, whatever you like, yeah. Home runs in the park, touchdowns in the end zone. Knockouts in the ring, buzzer beater for the win, go hard or go home. Find out who you are when you under the lights. That pressure made a star right there. Under the lights, you looking for the best, tune in to Under the Lights. Yeah, yeah, Under the Lights.
Yeah. Welcome back to Under the Lights. I'm your host, Big Mike, and as you can see, I'm solo dolo today. You understand? Now listen, you know I'm gonna hold it down when my guy Jordan is not in the building. Anytime Jordan is not on here, you know what I mean? He's got some shit going on. You know, Jordan live down there in Australia, so we on two different time zones. You know what I'm saying? So today, George's not going to be on, so I just want to take a little bit of y'all time to go ahead and holler at y'all about these NBA playoffs, these underdogs walking in boys' buildings, taking game ones, and a little bit about what's going on in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? So for the viewers right now that fuck with Big Mike, that fuck with Under the Lights, you know what I'm saying? If you fuck with Jordan, Twan, whoever else you see on here, Mel, you know what I mean? Hit that like and subscribe button so y'all could be up to date with all things Under the Lights. Make sure you can go ahead and follow me and Jordan on Instagram. You should see it at the bottom right there. You know what I mean? So show us some love. We rock with y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us too as well. So, you know, if you watch this show, you know I always say before we begin, one of the things we can't get back in life is time. So we don't want to keep wasting no time. You know what I mean? So me being Big Mike, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. You understand? Listen, we're going to start with in the NFL. I'm starting the NFL, even though the NBA playoffs are underway. But speaking of the NFL, man, George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers has now been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. He's no longer in the AFC. He's in the NFC now. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what's been brewing in Pittsburgh behind the scenes, but for something to happen like this around this time, they had to be really, really thinking about it in order for, for George Pickens to be up out of Pittsburgh. You feel what I'm saying? Because he's a good wide receiver. Now listen to this, right? Anybody that know me, they know that I like George Pickens. I like George Pickens. I think George Pickens is a good wide receiver. You feel what I mean? But what I always say and have said about George Pickens since he came in the league and I've seen his actions is that he need to grow the fuck up. He does need to grow the fuck up. He always lets his emotions, his childish emotions just take over the game. He lets that little shit override the game, whether he mad he not getting the ball, whether he mad at what some player doing or they losing, whatever the case may be. He got a whole lot of growing up to do. And that shit right there is like, that could be, a detriment to his future. You know what I'm saying? Because what if he go to Dallas and do the same thing, right? Like this dude got 10 penalties in the past 2 to 3 years where, and I'm not talking about, he got a little holding penalty right here. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Stupid shit. Doing shit that's causing your team 15 yards, whether they winning the game or losing the game. I don't know what be going on in George Pickens' mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to compare him to AB or no things like that, but the shit that he be doing, you know what I'm saying, is if he don't get corrected, it could get worse and it could be AB-ish, Antonio Brown-ish. You know what I'm saying? So 10 penalties in 2 to 3 years, bro, that's just not good, especially when it's not. And even if this was like holding penalties, this means like you got problem blocking. You know what I'm saying? But this is like worse because, like I said, these are ones that's hurting your team 15 yards, been a detriment, and it can change the momentum of the game. And, just have players and fans and coaches look at you different. You feel what I'm saying? The Steelers just got DK Metcalf, bro. They just got DK Metcalf. They not in position to be out here getting rid of a George Pickens. So that's why I say it had to be something that was going on behind closed doors, or maybe, I don't know how long they've been having this discussion, but it don't make no sense to say, all right, I'm going to get DK Metcalf to pair with George Pickens, but now he not there no more. And when this trade, and when DK Metcalf went to the Steelers, I said it right here on this show. When DK Metcalf went to the Steelers and they paid him $150 million, I said, hold on, wait a minute. With George Pickens and his attitude and his mindset, he ain't been paid yet, and it's time for him to get a paycheck. They brought DK Metcalf here and cashed him out $150. I wonder how he gonna take that. So maybe this is something brewing from that. You know what I mean? Maybe this is something brewing from that. Maybe he wish he had got paid. But I said it right here on this show. I don't know how he gonna, handle that situation right there with his mindset and his actions, the way he be acting or whatever the case may be. So I'm not gonna say I seen it coming, but I'm gonna say I had the mindset of that it can happen based on how George Pickens be acting on the field. You know what I mean? Because that shit, the way you act on the field, it's going to translate. It's going to go over to the locker room. It's going to get to the coaching staff and up in the front offices and all of that type of shit, right? The Steelers are trying to build. So like I said, they don't have, time to be letting players go. And I hear them talking about, Mike Tomlin, 18 years. He's never had a losing season. And man, listen, bro, 9-8. And when it was 16 games, 9-7, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like that's not that good. That's you borderline, like you still on some mediocrity type shit. I don't think that 9-8, bro, that's not winning season. If you ask me, I get it's more than losing, but you call that a winning season? I think that shit, them 9-8, I think that shit is overblown. You know what I'm saying? So they shipped him to Dallas while needing, while actually needing another wide receiver on the other side. And they still looking for a quarterback because Aaron Rodgers ain't made his mind up yet. They don't have they got Mason Rudolph. You ain't going nowhere with him. So we don't know what the morale is like in Pittsburgh right now on the offensive side of the football, because now you back at square one. You got one wide receiver, a legit number one. That's what you got, and that's what they had. Period, point blank, and they didn't get to do nothing with it. We see last year at the end of the season, they lost 5 straight games, 4 straight regular season games, and then the first round of the playoffs, they got bounced out. So like I said, they ship him to Dallas. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's another weapon for Dak. You got CD on one side, CD Lamb, and then you got George Pickens on the other side. I think they still got Tolbert. You still got Jake Ferguson. But listen to this, where your run game at? Where your run game at in Dallas? You got Vontae Williams. He ain't no game changer. He ain't no game breaker. He's not going to break the game open. He ain't one of the best running backs in the league. And how much of a upgrade is he from Rico Dowdle? Not much, if you ask me. You understand what I'm saying? So you got 2 diva wide receivers. When when shit ain't going right for CD Lamb, his shoulders get to slouching and shit all the time. Doing this, him and Dak might have a miscommunication, and you can see it all in his body language, bro. It's all in his body language. And don't even get me started on George Pickens. What he do when things ain't going his way. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. This is also the same guy who I had a problem with, you know what I mean? When Mike Tomlin had this, I watching the game when he just didn't block the corner. When the run play was called his way. You talking about that sometimes how wide receivers get hurt. What are you talking about? You have to block as a wide receiver. You got to be able to block. That's what wide receivers, not just going out running catching passes. It's not. You have to put your hands on other corners and other men, and you have to block. Shouldn't have to get on George Pickens, a professional, about blocking and just not blocking a motherfucker at all. That go to show you right there, little shit like that. It's like character issues, man. What are you out there for? It's coming. You know the play coming your way, and you're not going to do it? No, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, and with George Pickens going to Dallas over there with CD Lamb, and they got that lack of a run game. You know what I'm saying? You know what this means, right? That means Dak Prescott has to pass the ball more. He got to pass the ball more, bro. More. Because your run game is not legit. It's not legit. And I always said, I love when Dak Prescott passed the ball 30 or 40 times. Because when they do it, majority of the time, when they do that, they down 3 fucking touchdowns. And you look at the end of the game, Dak Prescott, oh my God, he's got 415 yards and 4 touchdowns. Oh my God. But you ain't understanding they was down 27-3 for the whole fucking game. And all them niggas was doing, all Dak was doing was dropping back, pass, because you can't run the football when you down like that. You got to try to get points on the board, and he just adding up a whole bunch of yards, which are all for naught. All for naught. This shit don't amount to a hill of beans. You feel what I'm saying? But I love when Dak Prescott has to pass the ball that many times. Because why? It plays into the hands of the opposing team. It does. Why? Because when you need Dak the most, my nigga, he's going to give it to the other team. He has made a career out of doing this. He has. So I'm not worried about George Pickens going to the Dallas Cowboys. And let me tell you something else. I'm a Philadelphia Eagle. You see what I got on my motherfucking head. You see what I got on my head. I like George Pickens, right? I do. But now I did like him. I did. I no longer do. Because anytime somebody put on that uniform for the Dallas Cowboys, and I know he wasn't drafted to the Dallas Cowboys. He was drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But anytime, somebody goes to the Cowboys, and even if I like them, you know what I mean? Fuck them. It's fuck them. So I don't give a fuck about George Pickens right now. I don't give a fuck what happens as long as he got that ugly-ass star on the side of his helmet. Excuse me. I don't care what he has. I don't care what he does. I never wanted him to Steelers to beat my team. He could beat anybody else but my team. So even more so now, fuck him. And how much better would they be after this edition? I don't know. What are they gonna help him win? He gonna help him win the game? What, they gonna pass for more yards or some shit? They not gonna win a motherfucking division. They ain't beating us. Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champs, with the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts at quarterback. He's better than Dak Prescott. Much better. Much better than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott ain't even had an NFC Championship game appearance. He damn sure ain't been to the Super Bowl. He ain't even had a hot dog from the Super Bowl. Nachos, they say this nachos has got more meat on it, got more cheese and everything else in the Super Bowl. He ain't never had one of them unless he bought a fucking ticket. That's it. The Cowboys organization, period. We know it's been 29 going, and it will be 30 years this year. It will be 30 years where they will not get to another conference championship game. They're not winning the division. They're not beating my motherfucking team. They got to worry about Washington. Worry about the Washington, the bum-anders. That's what the fuck they need to worry about before they come looking at the Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I mean? They got that new draft pick, Tyler Guyton. You know what I mean? Tyler Guyton talking about, he want to see Jalen Carter. Okay, you do. That's a grown ass man. That's a grown man. You ain't ready for that. They always doing that fucking talking shit before the season start, and then when the season get to going, they do a little talking. Micah Parsons and all of them niggas and shit, and probably Tyler Guyton might do some talking too. You know what I mean? But Jalen, I'm gonna be waiting for that matchup, Eagles Cowboys, as I am every year, but even more so now because the rookie right guard or the left guard, whatever the fuck he plays, want to be talking shit about Jalen Carter. But them Cowboys ain't doing shit. They're not. They might make the playoffs. They might. Unless you listen, I know my Eagles making the playoffs. That ain't even up for debate. Unless Jaden Daniels hit a sophomore wall, the Washington Commanders, the bum-anders, are making the fucking playoffs. So now it's gonna be, are you saying we gonna be the division? They got 3 teams out of the NFC to go to the playoffs? I don't know. But I know one thing, they won't be winning the division. They damn sure ain't going to the conference championship, and we know for fucking damn sure they are not making a Super Bowl appearance. So I don't think he's going to make the Dallas Cowboys that much better. They're going to have some good games. Him and CD Lamb might go off, but they might do, 100 yards apiece a few games. They might light it up. Who knows? But when things start going bad or downhill or things are not going their way, what them attitudes going to be like? What they mind's going to be like? What they body language going to be like? Because we see it on full display each and every week or anytime something goes bad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying George Pickens can't help a team, but I just don't think he's going to be that much better. Because like I said, where's your run game at? Dak will be passing the ball a lot more. And they got a new offensive coordinator or some type of shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, Brian Schottenheimer, new coach. You know what I mean? So I don't think they're going to be that much better. I don't see them being no real deal threat to nobody. Like Dak Prescott, the Cowboys, they have had top 5 offenses and top 5 defenses. Like I said before, they've done nothing with it. They've done nothing. Is their defense going to be top 5 this year? I doubt it. I just doubt it, bro. So I'm not looking at this shift from Pittsburgh to Dallas like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like Saquon to Philly. Oh my God. Christian McCaffrey to San Francisco. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at this like that. I'm not looking at a game changer for the Dallas Cowboys because at the end of the day, the ball is going to have to be in Dak Prescott's hands every single play. And when when the rubber need to meet the road and the game get tight and all of that, we know what Dak Prescott does. Hey, opponent, it's coming your way. It's coming your way. You ready for this? That's what he's going to do. And they're going to put it on the coach, put it on the play calling and everything else. So we shall see, you know what I mean, what's going to happen with these Dallas Cowboys. I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference if you ask me. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. All right. So moving on to the NBA. The NBA playoffs are underway. I know everybody knows this. You understand? But listen, man, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, these underdog teams, all of them, from the Pacers, the Warriors, the Knicks, and the Denver Nuggets, they walking in your building and they walking out with the safe. That's what they doing. And they got bells and whistles on too. Every time they take a motherfucking step, it's ching, ching, ching. Like you got change in your pocket and shit and bells on your jackets. Ching, ching, ching. You know they coming. They ain't sneaking in through the side door. They ain't sneaking in trying to be quiet, nigga. They beating their chest. Raw, we on our way, we coming. You know what I mean? Last night, the Pacers went up 2-0. 2-0 on the Cleveland Cavaliers on a Tyrese Halliburton go-ahead game-winning three-point shot. You know what I'm saying? Is this series now over for the Cleveland Cavaliers? Bro, listen. First of all, let me speak on Tyrese Halliburton again, right? Because, you know, the players in the NBA voted him the most overrated player in the NBA. And I'm going to say the same thing I said. I don't know where people are trying to rank Tyrese Halliburton, bro. Are they trying to say he's top 5? Is that what they're saying? Because me and Jordan was just on the show, and I got a list of guys that I would take over Tyrese Halliburton. You know what I'm saying? SGA, Luka, Steph, Ja, Cade Cunningham, De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Brunson, LaMelo Ball, Kyrie Irving, and that's just you know what I'm saying? Like, those guys, I'm not taking Tyrese Halliburton over. And I can boil the list down even more. I can say SGA, Luka, Steph, De'Aaron Fox, Cade Cunningham. I can leave it at that 5 right there. If you're trying to put him in the top 5 over those guys, or one of those guys, then maybe you could say it's overrated. You know what I mean? Because me personally, I don't believe Tyrese Halliburton can go do what Cade Cunningham did for the Detroit Pistons. I don't think he can. Tyrese Halliburton is a good player, but I don't think he could do that. I don't think he can go to New York and do what Jalen Brunson is doing for the Knicks. He's the clutch player of the year, and you see it in every fourth quarter, nigga. That's not Tyrese Halliburton game. Luka, SGA, he's not on that level. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean he's overrated. So it just depends on where people are trying to put him. I can't give a fair assessment about his overrated, overrated topic, you know what I'm saying, when I don't even know where majority of the people are putting him, where they ranking him at. But make no mistake, bro, Tyrese Halliburton is good. He's a good basketball player. He's more of a facilitator, but he's a facilitator that can score. Everybody, do I think he got a good team around him? We always say the Pacers have a good team. Everybody out there can get money. Neesmith can get money. Siakam, been through the fire, been through the finals, won a ring, beat Golden State, been through the fight, been there. You know what I mean? Benedict Mathurin, he's back now. He's been balling. He always balling for the Pacers. Nimhard, the Miles Turner, the list goes on. TJ McConnell, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got players on that team is built the way it's built on purpose like that. No egos. Everybody gonna go out there and put their hard hat on and go to work. Everybody's not gonna be a franchise, like somebody, a franchise altering player who gonna come out here and do what LeBron or Luka and SGA and shit is doing. But that don't mean the man is overrated. I don't think he overrated because I'm not putting him way up there. I'm not. It's levels to the shit, right? It's levels. You know what I mean? He's having a good playoffs, but it's still levels to this shit. So overrated? Nah. Because I don't see nobody trying to put him at the top 5 or whatever the case may be. But other than that, that nigga nice. He nice and he fit with the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? Listen, is the series over for Cleveland? Man, look, I know for sure that was a demoralizing loss last night. I mean, demoralizing. I'm talking about when Tyrese Halliburton hit that game, that go-ahead game winner, it was 117 to 119, bro. And he hit that step-back game winner. Bro, he actually put his hand in the chests of the Cleveland Cavaliers players and the fans and ripped their motherfucking heart out and stood on the ground and stomped on it. Now, I don't know if a doctor can bring that heart back to life. I don't know. I don't know if they can piece all that shit together because that shit splattered everywhere. You know what I'm saying? These dudes was down 20 points in the third quarter. 20 points. But like the Pacers always do, I said, they not going away. They not going away, dog. They are going to keep on fighting. They're going to keep on fighting to the end. That's Rick. They coached by Rick Carlisle. Rick Carlisle is old school. He not a diva. I'm pretty sure he don't care for diva players. He want hard workers. You know what I'm saying? Donovan Mitchell, he had a phenomenal game last night. It was phenomenal, bro. But it was all for naught. It was all for naught. Last game, he was 13 of 30 for 33 points. That's not good. It's not good. You missed 27. That's not good, bro. You feel what I'm saying? What is that? You missed 17 shots or some shit like 17 shots. 13 of 30 is not good, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, listen. His game that he had last night was phenomenal, but it was all for naught. He had a very, very efficient game. This game, he was 15 of 30 for 48 points and 9 assists. You know what I'm saying? He was out there putting it all out on the line. No Darius Garland. No Evan Mobley. Darius Garland is 21 points. Assists, putting pressure on the defense, getting a look for the open man. He can penetrate the lane. He can score in the lane. He can score mid-range. He can score from the three-point. He's gone. Evan Mobley, Defensive Player of the Year, he's gone. And DeAndre Hunter is gone as well. We know what he provides for that team. You feel what I mean? But when Donovan Mitchell sits down and shit, now it's an uphill battle to keep the motherfucking game out of reach because you got a guy out here like Ty Jerome. Now I brought up Ty Jerome to Jordan. And I said, what the fuck is he doing? 20 shots? And Jordan's like, oh, he's a 6th Player of the Year candidate. That motherfucker's look like the 15th Player of the Year candidate. 15th Man of the Year candidate. The way he played, I don't know where he got some real estate at in Cleveland. But they said, I like this area over here. I'm going to go ahead and build me a crib. Because this motherfucker was 1 of 14. He built him a small little crib real quick, little 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom. That's what he built. You know what I'm saying? Look at one car garage. He built that real quick last night in Cleveland. At home in 2 hours because 1 of 14 from the field. What we gonna do with that on anybody's team, especially when you out some of your best players? All hands have to be on deck. I don't know. He was holding the Pacers' hand. He was playing with the Pacers last night, going 1 of 14, and he keeps shooting, but he confident too. He confident winning. He feel like he gonna make every single shot, even if he missing some more. Just like last night. So he didn't help the situation at all because if he was 7 of 14, if he was 5 of 14, this game is probably a little more out of reach. The Pacers probably wouldn't have been able to climb back, you know what I'm saying, in enough time to win the game the way they did. You understand what I'm saying? And listen, as great as Donovan Mitchell was in this game, towards the end of the game and shit, he ain't without fault. He's not without fault. Donovan, when Pascal Siakam missed his free throw, how did Aaron Nesmith get into the lane and get that putback dunk and a foul? How? because Donovan Mitchell didn't box him out. The game is not over. It's not over. You feel me? When Tyrese Halliburton at the end of the game, when he missed his free throw and got his own rebound, who got shooter? Ain't nobody say, I got shooter. You ain't box the shooter out? Like, what are y'all doing? So I think the Cavs, they deserve to lose that game. This is not a game where Pacers got lucky, nigga. No, they walked these niggas down. The Pacers are going to always fight until the end, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. You got to think, April 29th against the Bucks, right? They scored 8 points in 33 seconds, won that game. Just last night, they scored another 8 points in 47 seconds. What does that mean? Fighting till the end. Miles Turner making shots. Once again, like their team, the Pacers team continuously fights and makes timely and consistent shots throughout the whole game. And even when they losing, they can turn their defense into offense, just like they was doing last night. You know what I'm saying? So that 48-point performance from Donovan Mitchell was all for naught. It sucks, but I know for sure that game right there, even the hearts was ripped out, bro. And if the Cleveland players didn't feel it, I know one player that did feel it was Donovan Mitchell, because he left it all out there on the line. And for that game to end like that, I guarantee you he's beating it. He ain't only beating himself up, you know what I mean, or had a conversation with himself about losing that game. I guarantee he had a conversation about, I got to box this motherfucker out. Man, we got to box out shooter. We can't let the shooter get the rebound. I can't let Aaron Nesmith come from the fucking three-point line and get a dunk tip. A dunk tip from the three-point line? Ain't nobody boxing out. So they deserve to lose that game, man. And is this series over? Is it over? Listen, this series is over, but it ain't over. It's over because they down 2-0, and you're not going to beat the Pacers 4 times in 5 fucking games. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that right now. That's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It ain't over because they ain't won 4 games yet. You see what I'm saying? So, but in all actuality, this shit is over with. They're not going to beat the Pacers that many 4 times. If they beat the Pacers 4 times in 5 games, then something's wrong. Something is wrong. And then we'll get on here and get on the Pacers' ass about that shit. But until then, got to get the Pacers credit. They out here balling. They balling. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are balling, my nigga. And they headed back home to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. It's going to be so loud. It's going to be extremely loud in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Cleveland Cavaliers, if they ain't got their minds right, if Darius Garland, he probably not playing. I wouldn't put him in the game, no way. It's too risky. But if Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter are out again, this might be really over, because I don't expect Donovan Mitchell to put on another 48-point performance like that. Maybe he can, but I'm not expecting him to do that. Always listen, I said it yesterday. The Cleveland Cavaliers are not unbeatable. They're not unbeatable. Me and Jordan never had Cleveland going to the finals. The Pacers will win this series. We said the Pacers will win this series, man. I'm not a believer in Cleveland like that. They are a great regular season team. They kind of got that OKC thing going on right now. You know what I mean? And I know OKC is down 0-1 versus the Cleveland's 0-2. But the fact of the matter is, OKC this year, you know what I mean, and Cleveland this year, they are both teams that won 64 and 68 games. 64 and 68 games. That's a lot of fucking games to win. You understand what I'm saying? And yet and still, for the second year in a row, in the second round, OKC's down 0-1 at home. Last year, they went down, they gave up 2 games to Luka. Tonight, they might give up another game to the Nuggets. I'm going to get to that real quick. I'm going to get to that, you know what I mean? And look at the Nuggets. Look at the Cavaliers. 64 games. Now they down 0-2 to the Pacers. And I get Darius Garland and Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter didn't play game 1. Didn't play game 2. But in game 1, Mobley and DeAndre Hunter, they played, my nigga. They played. And they went out there and got fucking ran. Pacers was hot. They got ran, bro. So, listen. Got to get the Pacers credit. They balled it out. And they not to be overlooked. You know what I'm saying? Because they coached well. You know what I mean? So to me, this series is over, bro. This series is over. I think they might be listen, Donovan Mitchell, in the 8 years he's been in the league, he's never been past the second round. Now, this is the best team he's had since, he's been in the league. You feel what I'm saying? So he's gonna have to, hopefully, Evan Mobley and DeAndre Hunter could come back for game 3 and they could be right. And they can get him a chance to go out there and win. But like I said, they beat their ass with them 2 niggas in the game in game 1. So it's not too far-fetched for me to say that the Pacers are gonna fuck around. And if the Pacers get game 3, it's over. I said it's over now, but if they really get game 3, it's gonna be a sweep. It's gonna be a sweep, and they're gonna move on to the next round and face the winner between Boston and the New York Knicks. You feel what I'm saying? So congrats to the Pacers. They balling out. And let's just see how the rest of this, this series and unfolds, man. See what they do. Excuse me. So moving on, sticking with the NBA playoffs, man. We seen the Golden State Warriors last night go out there and get a dub. Man, like I said, all the underdogs walking in and walking out with the safe. That's what they doing, bro. You know what I mean? So shit, and ain't showing no remorse doing it either. So the Golden State Warriors win game 1 despite Steph Curry injuring his hamstring. Steph Curry went out of the game in the 3rd quarter. Okay, he was having a cool game, efficient game, 13 points. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have to do too much at that time because the Warriors was doing what the Warriors do, playing good basketball, good team basketball. But Steph Curry is always needed on the court. You know what I'm saying? For a team, if you really want to reach the goal that you want to really reach, he's gonna have to be on the court. You know what I mean? But the question is, can the Warriors still win this series without Steph Curry? You know what I mean? Now, Steph Curry has a grade 1 hamstring strain. They already ruled him out for game 2. So game 2 Thursday it's over. It's over with. You know what I mean? So he won't be in the lineup. He probably won't even be there. He probably already back in the Bay getting treatment around the clock so he can try to be ready for game 3. You feel what I mean? So Steph Curry is not there, but can they win this series without Steph Curry? I believe they can. You know why I believe they can? Because they got a guy on their team who we call Playoff Jimmy Buckets. Okay. And since Jimmy Bucket came to the Warriors, they've been the best defense in all of these statistical categories, top 5 in these categories since Jimmy Butler has came to the Golden State Warriors out there in the Bay. You know what I mean? But not only that, Jimmy Butler is a guy who can get a team to the next level. Just 2 years ago, I don't know how soon, how people forget, you know, how soon people have forgotten, if they have forgotten or not. This is Jimmy Butler with the Miami Heat walking into Boston against the Boston Celtics, and the team that they had, they was way better than the Miami Heat. Way better. They walked in and walked out with the safe. They went up 3-0 against Boston. Now, granted, Caleb Martin playing good. You know what I'm saying? Max Strus and guys, Gabe Vincent, they was shooting, they was making jumpers, but Jimmy Butler was the catalyst for that shit. They ain't doing all of that without Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler brings toughness offensively, and he brings toughness defensively. And you got another tough nigga on defense named Draymond Green, who's a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? The Warriors play defense out there in the Bay. Everybody on that team is going to get involved. Or you're going to get involved, or I'm going to knock your ass out too. Make a choice. And then what Debo said on Friday, you know what I'm saying? So everybody going to go out there and get involved, bro, and play defense. And they're not relying on one player. They play team basketball. They're not ISO basketball. You're going to have to guard everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? So you got Jimmy that can step up and do that. You got a guy like Moses Moody who makes shots. Paz that go out there and make shots. You understand what I'm saying? Looney, he go out there and do the dirty work, get rebounds, get offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, play some good defense, and do all the dirty work that he need to do as well. You know what I'm saying? And even when Steph Curry went out, Draymond stepped up. But he hit like 4 or 5 threes. He said, go ahead and leave me open. I might not make him all the time, but tonight, I'm cashing in, nigga. And y'all niggas gonna pay for that shit. And that's exactly what he did. The Warriors team is built to go ahead and, I'm not saying win a championship without Steph Curry, but the way they play and the way they are built, they can go out there and win this series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think people are looking at the fact how the Minnesota Timberwolves beat the Lakers. You got LeBron out here, got Luka, but the weak link was Luka. And I've said this before. That trade was not what they needed. You can single him out every play and go do what the fuck you want to do. The defense, the down low presence is no longer. The Lakers are not a good team playing small ball. They went on a little run a little bit, but listen, bro, you're gonna have. I felt that the Lakers, we lost way too much getting Luka. because you lost somebody at AD who can give you 27 to 30 a night, who can rebound the basketball on both ends, offensively and defensively. And on top of that, is playing defense as well. You know what I mean? So I think they looking at how the Minnesota Timberwolves did the Warriors, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people thinking like, yeah, the Warriors can't beat them. They can't beat them. Yeah, they can. I got the Warriors winning the series. And all they got to do is all the Warriors got to do is go out here and get another win. They can get another win. And I don't think Minnesota's going to go to Golden State and win 2 games and go to state. It's either going to be a split or Golden State or Golden State going to win both games at home. They're not walking in Golden State taking 2 games. I don't care if Steph Curry there or not. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I think the Golden State Warriors can win this series without Steph Curry. But if Steph Curry ends up coming back, it's going to be because they extended it a little longer. You know what I mean? Maybe won a game here or a game there. Maybe he come back game 4 or 5. Who knows? You understand what I'm saying? But this series, you know, it's not just flat out over, but the Warriors can still go out there and win. You got Ant-Man out there. If he going to play like that, 1 point in the first half, they missed 16 straight shots at one point in this game. You ain't beating nobody like that. Where's all the energy that they had with the Lakers? See, that's what they say. When Bron come to town, niggas want to, I want to beat LeBron so bad. You know what I mean? Where that energy at? 1 point in the first half? What the fuck is that? You feel me? So if they're going to come out here with that type of energy, playing like that, and the Warriors, you know, it seemed like the Warriors was like 2 steps ahead of them. Defensively, or a step ahead of them every time. Every time. They was contesting everything, and they was missing wide open shit. So, listen, bro, it's not too far-fetched for me to say they can go out here and beat the Minnesota Timberwolves without Steph Curry, because they are a team that can do it. And if we ain't seen Jimmy Butler have to be in playoff Jimmy mode, you know what I mean? Now, I think he's going to have the ball in his hands more. You see last night, Draymond making plays, and he was shooting that 3 ball. That caused Rudy Gobert to have to come up some more and try to play some defense. And what did that do? Open up the lanes for everybody else to cut to the basket. So they got, you know, they ain't relying on just one player, bro. They can do the movement that they got is puts pressure on the defense. It's a lot of bells and whistles out there for the Golden State Warriors to confuse you, and all of the sets and screens that they run. So in Minnesota, they can be confused by that. It looked like they was last night without Steph Curry. And that's the guy who put the ultimate pressure on you, because he don't slow down. He don't stop moving. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, don't be surprised. Even if it was to go 7 without Steph Curry, don't be surprised if they walk into Minnesota for game 7 and walk out with the safe again like they did in game 1. Don't be surprised, because I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to the Denver Nuggets and the OKC Thunder. Just real quick, man. Listen, is OKC going to tie this series up tonight? Or do you think Oklahoma City Thunder, them young boys, as good as they are, 68-win team this year, running boys out the building, do you think they're going to even the series up against the Denver Nuggets? Man, I got to be honest with you, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. What you seen from Jokic, dog, that was some 2000 Shaq shit. Only with a jumper and with less dunking, okay? Because the way he was powering through Chet Holmgren, the 7'4" string bean, who ain't got no weight on him, and Isaiah Hartenstein, them combined can't stop Jokic. Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren combined cannot stop Nikola Jokic. It was proven. Look, what they gonna do different this time? Bring 3 niggas? They was bringing both of them. I mean, he was busting their ass. So you gonna bring 3 this time? Michael Porter gonna be open. Aaron Gordon gonna be open. You see he can do knockdown threes all the time. Game winner, go ahead, game winner, game 1. In transition type shit. Russell Westbrook giving them 15, 16 off the bench, 14, 15, 16 points. Christian Braun, you know what I'm saying? Like, they team, they all gonna contribute. And what you seen from the Denver Nuggets was true championship pedigree. They never stopped. They never let the game get out of reach. They was always in striking distance, and they just walked them down. It wasn't no, oh, they stole it. No, they went and took that motherfucker. OKC was up. They the team that won 68 games. This is them. But OKC still got shit to prove too in the playoffs. Remember last year, like I said, all them games that they won. Bye-bye from Luka. Second round. Lost the first 2 games at home. Look at this second round this year. 68 games you won this year in the regular season. Now we're in the second round. You're down 0-1. And me personally, Jokic is going to have the same mentality that he had in game 1. Because I ain't never played professional basketball, but when I hoop, everybody that know me, that know I hoop, they know I play down in the post. And they get physical down there. I'm Shaq with a jumper, baby. You feel what I'm saying? Real talk. I got a little more touch too. You understand? And I got more post moves as well. You know what I'm saying? If I had a guy on me that was small, like maybe it was a smaller team, I want the ball every fucking time. Give me unless I miss 2 shots in a row, don't pass the ball to nobody else. We're going to work inside out. And if they bring a double team, I'm going to bust their ass too. And if you open, I'm going to pass you the ball. I'm an assist guy too. I like assists more than I like points, to keep it 100 with you. But if the points is there, oh, I'm going to bust your ass. That's going to be Jokic tonight. Hartenstein? Holmgren? What? I'm about to bust you. He might go for 40 again. Matter of fact, I'm calling for 40 again tonight from Jokic. Because what can they do to stop it? You can't do. They was bringing both of their big men. Both of them. And he was powering through both of them niggas and busting their ass. Aaron Gordon, everybody contributing. This is a championship team. They've won a championship already. And the core is still there. Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun was a rookie, but he had championship pedigree coming out of college and from Kansas because he won a national title. You know what I'm saying? Michael Porter Jr., he was there. Jamal Murray, the core is there, bro. Bruce Brown and Caldwell Pope, they gone. All right, cool. But them 5 guys, they there. They got the pedigree. And they can do it. And I think they going to go up 2-0 tonight over the OKC Thunder. And if that happens, we're going to start looking at OKC a lot different. Or more importantly, we might look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a lot more different. We might. Is he just a regular season player? Because these past 2 years, it looked like that. They kind of, like I said before earlier in the show, they kind of got that, I was talking about Cleveland. I said they got that OKC thing going on. Yeah, that's what it is right here. You're down 0-1. And from the eye test, from when we seen the game, there is nothing that happened in that game so I can say, you know what? They can get him next game. Because Jokic is he's just phenomenal. And he going to have control of that game. So unless you're telling me, matter of fact, I'll tell you what, they better shoot the lights out. And I'm talking about OKC. Because you can't stop Jokic. Both of your big men can't stop him. And I know you're not going to bring 3 of them. Because it's going to be 1 or 2 guys open. And he's going to find them. And they're going to get open looks all night long. And bust your ass. So, do they even the series tonight? I don't think so. I think it's 2-0 Denver after tonight. For damn sure. All right. Before we get up out of here, man, let me talk about these New York Knicks real quick. You understand they went up 1-0 against the Boston Celtics in game 1 in Boston's own arena. You know what I'm saying? In overtime, 108-105. What chance do you give the New York Knicks to go up 2-0 in Boston for game 2 tonight? If I'm giving a percentage, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you something. I'll probably say 49% chance, or I should say 45-55. Because I think Boston, they know they can't go down 2-0. They're not Cleveland, you know what I mean? They're not OKC. Boston has won a championship as well. They won it last year. They're the defending champs. You know what I mean? They got there, you know what I mean? Listen, we all know everybody was injured in the East last year. And in last year in the West, I made that comparison that when 07 with LeBron, when he just went in God mode and went past the Detroit Pistons and went to the finals against the Spurs, he was in over his head because he had no business being there. But that's the same thing with Luka last year. He went God mode, you know what I mean? And when you got to the finals, you was in over your head, got your ass whooped. So I don't think they played the best team in the West anyway. Luka went in God mode, just like LeBron went in God mode in 07. You know what I mean? But this year, you know what I'm saying? New York ain't hurt. You know, obviously Miami's out. You know what I mean? They didn't do nothing. They got put out. You know what I mean? But I'm just going through the teams who was hurt last year. You know what I mean? Them, Miami, Philly, all the teams. There's 5 teams in the East that was hurt last year. In Boston's road there, they played against all the teams that was injured, and that's how they got to the finals. And then, like I said, with Luka went God mode, Boston's better than Dallas. He was in over his head, so they won the title. Cool. But they're going to have to prove that shit again this year for that shit to be legit. Because now all the teams ain't hurt. And Luka ain't going to be able to go in God mode because he's out of the playoffs. He's in LA now. He's out of the playoffs. My Lakers, my boy Bron, they gone. You know what I mean? OKC. I mean, look at what they doing. You know what I mean? I can only think of last year around this time with them. They went down 0-2. So I'm not putting a bunch of stock in them. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they go to the finals this year, I think they'll probably play, you know what I mean? Well, they will play a tougher opponent than the Dallas Mavericks that they played last year. It'd probably be, you know, OKC, the Warriors, or Denver. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? You feel me? So, but Boston, I mean, but for New York to win, I'm giving them a 45% chance because Boston knows they can't go down to 0-2 and then head back to MSG, and it's gonna be loud as fucking there, and they don't want to have that uphill battle. I think, you know, they missed 45 threes of a night. Boston lives and dies by the 3, bro. So I really don't want to hear nothing about, oh, they missed this. They live and die by the 3. They took the most threes last year, and they made the most threes. Period. You know what I'm saying? So that's their game. Then that's what it is. That's just what it is. That's what their best asset is. You know what I mean? And if Jalen, so what I think they should do, you know what I mean, is really, you know, be physical throughout the whole game again. You know what I'm saying? And listen, Karl Anthony Towns, he's going to have to ingratiate himself in this game because Karl Anthony Towns, as much as I get on him about being, you know, soft and not aggressive, he's due for one of those games because they don't have a Karl Anthony Towns stopper. All right, they don't have a Karl Anthony Towns stopper, bro. Porzingis cannot stop him. Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday, they can't stop him, but he has to put his foot on the gas. Put his foot on the gas and go. He gotta go. He gotta put his, or should I say, he gotta put his imprint on the game. If he could put his imprint on the game and they still scrappy and Jalen Brunson's doing what he's doing, that's a great chance to go out here and win the game. But I just think with it being game 2, I only give the Knicks a 45% chance, and I'm going 55 Boston because of, you know what I mean, what's at stake going down to in an 0-2 hole. You know what I mean? So we'll see after these games tonight if I'm right. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think Denver's going up 2-0, and I think Boston's going to even the series at 1. The series is over for the Cavs and the Pacers. That shit's done with. And I also believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves can still lose this series even if Steph Curry is not playing. You know what I mean? So if y'all don't agree, y'all can always leave comments. You can always hit me up on Instagram on the Under the Lights page at __ under the lights. You can always go to my page, my personal page on Instagram. You know what I mean? At _ChilliMan. That's CHILLI right there at the bottom of the screen. You know what I mean? And until, you know, and if you watching the show right now, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you can be up to date with all things Under the Lights. Watch some basketball tonight, you know what I mean? And I'll holler at y'all again tomorrow. That's my show for the day, and I'm gone.
Under the lights, speaking of facts, double the price, yeah.